Imagine the feeling of catching a giant tuna. It's exhausting, but also incredibly exciting, right? Today, we're going to dive into that thrilling journey and explore the techniques of tuna fishing on the open sea. In 2024, Japan continues to lead the fishing industry with an impressive 450,000 tons of tuna caught. This video will share tips and techniques to help you experience tuna fishing out on the big blue ocean. Whether you're a fishing enthusiast or just want to try this exciting adventure, let's get started on this journey together. Japan is famous for its rich waters, especially off the western coast of Iki, Nagasaki Prefecture, where tuna is abundant. This area isn't just the perfect habitat for various types of tuna like bluefin, yellowfin, and striped tuna, but it also has a diverse marine ecosystem with clean, nutrient-rich waters. With a mild climate and plenty of food like squid, mackerel, and sardines, this sea is an ideal breeding ground for tuna. Japanese tuna is well known not only for its delicious taste and fresh quality, but also for its unique flavor, satisfying even the most discerning food lovers. See those tuna here? Oh my, they look huge, don't they? I wonder how much this one weighs. Can you guess? Unlike other content, today, we'll experience the traditional way of catching fish, fishing. I bet many of you love fishing, right? The feeling of holding the rod and pulling up the fish is so thrilling. The fishing rod bends like a bow, and my heart feels like it's about to jump out of my chest as the fish fights back. Sweat pours down, hands shaking, but when the fish starts to show itself, I just want to scream with joy. To have a successful tuna fishing trip, fishermen often begin their journey as early as 2 or 3 in the morning. This is the perfect time to head out to sea and prepare for a long day ahead. Once they reach a potential spot, the boats use advanced fish-finding technology to locate tuna schools. When found, live bait, usually mackerel or squid, is dropped into the water. Getting up early and working on the sea isn't easy, but this patience and hard work allow fishermen to catch large, high-quality tuna. Tuna fishing is not just about physical strength, it also requires patience and skill. Tuna are very sensitive and move constantly, disappearing from view in a split second. This requires fishermen to be patient and understand the movement patterns of the fish schools. Some days, fishermen might wait for hours or even the entire day without any sign of fish. Have you ever experienced that? Waiting on the vast ocean with only the sound of the waves and wind? It's all worth it when the line tightens and a giant tuna bites. When tuna is detected using sonar, fishing strategy becomes more important than ever. One common technique is to use live bait, like mackerel or squid, to attract the fish. You need to drop the bait deep and move it naturally so that the tuna thinks it's real prey. As for the technique of reeling in the fish, you need to pull the line slowly and steadily, avoiding sudden jerks when the fish bites, as this can scare the fish and cause the meat to burn, a condition called yaki. Tuna can weigh between 100 to over 450 pounds, so you need to adjust your strength and use the rod correctly to avoid breaking the line. Do you think you have the patience to fish for tuna all day? The feeling when a tuna bites is truly indescribable. If you've never fished for tuna before, imagine the sensation. Your hands tremble, the rod bends down, and your entire body tenses as you struggle to balance against the power of a massive fish. Tuna are powerful creatures, and they thrash and speed away with lightning speed when hooked. This makes controlling the line and adjusting your pull extremely important. You must stay calm, pull steadily, and wait patiently for the right moment to secure the catch. Once the fish tires, that's when you need to show your skill to bring it aboard. At this point, you'll see the large, shining fish glistening in the sunlight as it fights against you. After catching tuna, handling the fish quickly and carefully is crucial to maintaining the best quality meat. First, the fish needs to be bled immediately to prevent yaki, where the meat heats up from stress. This helps keep the tuna fresh and tender. Can you imagine the triumph of pulling such a massive fish onto your boat? It's a moment of pure joy, pride, and satisfaction. After bleeding, the fishermen remove the insides and place the fish in ice to preserve it. Tuna is usually stored in large ice boxes, and it's essential to be careful not to damage the belly of the fish, which contains the best meat for sashimi. In particular, avoiding rough handling during storage is important because tuna skin is very delicate and easily bruised. Did you know that even a small scratch on the skin can significantly lower the value of the tuna on the market? That's why the process of handling tuna after it's caught is crucial to maintaining the highest quality of the meat. Among the different types of tuna, yellowfin and bluefin are the most sought after. Yellowfin tuna usually appears in the summer, from May to September, weighing between 45 to 110 pounds. On the other hand, bluefin tuna, though rarer, is far more valuable. However, tuna fishing must be done sustainably to protect marine resources and prevent overfishing, which harms the ecosystem. Tuna, especially bluefin, is an incredibly valuable food source in the international market. In Japan, tuna is the key ingredient for famous sashimi and sushi dishes, contributing to the country's unique culinary culture. In 2024, the global tuna industry is estimated to be worth around $10 billion, with bluefin tuna accounting for a large portion of that. At famous fish auctions, like Tsukiji, a single bluefin tuna can sell for up to $3 million, an astonishing figure. Can you believe that a fish can be worth that much? The tuna market isn't just limited to Japan. Japanese tuna is exported to many countries like the US, South Korea, and Europe. Bluefin tuna in particular is always a premium item at upscale sushi restaurants. However, the high economic value also leads to illegal fishing and smuggling activities, which have even attracted criminal organizations. To combat this, many countries, including Japan, have implemented stricter regulations on tuna fishing to protect this precious resource. With its huge economic value and the growth of the international market, tuna is not just a food source, but also a symbol of the global fishing industry. Do you think this industry will continue to grow even stronger in the future? Tuna fishing is not only an exciting experience, but also brings great economic value. The feeling of pulling a giant tuna onto your boat is unforgettable, right? And have you ever dreamed of experiencing the process of preparing and enjoying a giant bluefin tuna? If not, today we're going to embark on this exciting journey together with a massive 150 kilograms tuna brought from an auction in Okinawa. Bluefin tuna from Okinawa is always a dream for seafood lovers, and this one is no exception. Just look at it. Wow, you have to see it in person to really appreciate it. It's over 2 meters long and incredibly fresh. With its enormous size and total weight of up to 250 kilograms, when including the ice, transporting this tuna was no easy task. Its length of over 2 meters and thick body made it difficult to even fit in the vehicle. Even getting the tuna into the house was quite the challenge, but with patience and technique, we made it happen. Let's start by handling the head of the tuna, an exciting yet challenging step. To cut off the head, which weighs around 15 kilograms, we had to use a specialized saw. And as you can imagine, the bones of a tuna are incredibly hard, making the cutting process quite tough. Every time we pushed the saw down, it felt like battling with a true sea warrior. But once we finished this step and saw the clean cut of the tuna's head, I couldn't help but feel proud. It was like overcoming a long, tough journey. But that was just the beginning. The bright red meat revealed from the head had us all buzzing with excitement. Have you ever thought that preparing a tuna could be this thrilling? After removing the head, we moved on to handling the fins and the collar. If you've ever had grilled tuna, you know the collar is one of the best parts. Cutting through those meaty pieces with the soft, fatty white marbling made us eager to throw it on the grill. The first few times we cut the collar, we lost quite a bit of meat due to lack of experience. But by the second attempt, we carefully preserved more of the delicious fat, making the collar perfect for a grilling feast. Tuna fat is truly the treasure of the sea, and every slice made me even more eager to taste it. Can you imagine how that rich, sweet fat melts in your mouth? It's amazing. Because of the tuna's enormous size, instead of filleting it into 3 parts like a typical fish, we had to divide it into 5 parts to make it easier to handle. For this, we used a large, very sharp knife, but the challenge was that the bones were too hard and the meat too heavy. You can feel the difficulty with each cut, but every slice of bright red meat and rich fat that emerges is a well-deserved reward. Filleting a giant tuna requires precision and patience. Seeing those perfect pieces of meat after each cut left me in awe. You know, just looking at it is enough to tell how fresh and delicious this tuna is. That makes me appreciate every moment of the preparation even more, and I can't wait to start tasting it. Now it's time to prepare the best fillets for sashimi and other dishes. To ensure the best flavor, we had to remove the parts with blood. This keeps the meat fresh and increases the quality of the dishes. Every time we cut away the bloodied sections, it felt like we were preparing for a culinary masterpiece. It's so exciting. Cutting sashimi from bluefin tuna is truly an art. We carefully selected the best cuts, including medium fatty tuna and extra fatty tuna. Each thin slice had a beautiful layer of white fat marbled with bright red meat. We also removed the fibrous parts of the fat to ensure that when eaten, the sashimi melts in your mouth, leaving a rich, sweet flavor. After finishing the cuts and arranging the freshest sashimi on the plate, I couldn't contain my excitement. Have you ever dreamed of biting into a fresh piece of tuna with the fatty part melting in your mouth? If so, bluefin tuna sashimi will surely be unforgettable for you. In addition to sashimi, we decided to make crispy fried tuna, katsu. The process involves seasoning with salt and pepper, dipping it in flour, eggs, and breadcrumbs, and frying it for about 40 seconds. Everything seemed perfect until we tasted the first piece, and a big surprise happened. The fried tuna was so fatty, it was almost like eating fried beef fat. The richness was overwhelming, and we couldn't help but be amazed. Still, this difference made the experience unique and unforgettable. Every step of preparing the bluefin tuna was a memorable experience. From the hard work of handling the giant fish to the delicate slices of sashimi and the surprising fried tuna, we discovered the richness and elegance of Japanese cuisine. Bluefin tuna is not just food, it's a symbol of creativity and art in the culinary world. And if you ever get the chance, you absolutely must try bluefin tuna at least once. I'm sure its amazing flavor and uniqueness will leave a lasting impression.
Have you ever imagined yourself battling a sea monster, feeling your fishing rod so tight that it feels like it's about to snap? And then, when you finally see that massive grouper emerge, how would your heart feel? Today, we're going to dive into the thrilling adventure of grouper fishing, a powerful and famous fish in the world of seafood. In 2024, Japan continues to maintain its position as one of the leading countries in the fishing industry, with an astounding grouper catch of 400,000 tons. Are you curious about how fishermen catch these giant groupers here? In this video, I'll be sharing with you the techniques you can use to experience grouper fishing out on the big ocean. Whether you're a fishing enthusiast or simply looking to try out an exciting and challenging experience, let's start this journey right now. Japan is known for its rich waters, and one of the best places to catch grouper is the waters off the west coast of Kyushu. This area is rich in biodiversity, making it a perfect home for many predatory fish like the grouper. The sea here offers an ideal environment with a mild climate and clean, nutrient-rich water, which allows groupers to thrive. They live in areas like coral reefs, rocky ledges, and seabed structures where they can easily hide and hunt. Japanese grouper, a true masterpiece of nature. The white flesh, firm texture, and irresistible aroma when cooked make it so special. Do you want to know the secret behind why Japanese grouper is so unique? Groupers are predatory fish that love to hide in structured areas like rocky reefs, coral reefs, or under piers. They feed on small fish, shrimp, squid, and sometimes other creatures. There are many different types of groupers, but the most common one in Japan is the grouper, which stands out with its large size, weighing anywhere from 20 to 50 kilograms. Some notable types of groupers include the zebra grouper and the black-spotted grouper, which are found in deep waters, living at depths ranging from 20 to 200 meters. Groupers are known for their large size and incredible strength, making them very hard to catch. But this challenge is what makes grouper fishing so exciting for many. Can you imagine waking up at 2 to 3 a.m. when the sky is still dark and mysterious to start an adventure on the sea? Real fishermen are always ready to face the challenge of catching these massive groupers. The journey out to sea can take hours, but the moment you reach the fishing spot and drop your bait into the water is when the real adventure begins. The anticipation of facing a giant grouper is something you'll never forget. When it comes to grouper fishing, a strong fishing line is essential. These fish are incredibly powerful and can easily cut your line if you're not prepared. Have you ever seen your line snap as a grouper dives into its hiding spot? That can be such a frustrating moment, right? Share your experiences with us. The bait used for grouper fishing is usually small fish like sardines, shrimp, or frozen bait like mackerel or squid. Fishermen use either live bait or cut bait, depending on the fishing conditions. The bait is dropped close to the ocean floor where groupers tend to hide and hunt. Grouper fishing isn't just about dropping bait and waiting. Fishermen often use fish finding devices or GPS to locate seabed structures where groupers hide. Once they find the spot, they drop live bait or cut bait near the bottom and slowly reel it in to attract the fish. The waiting game in grouper fishing is truly special. You need patience because sometimes it can take hours before you get a bite. But when the line tightens and you feel the power of a grouper beneath the surface, every moment of waiting is worth it. When the fish bites, that's when your fishing skills are put to the test. First, you need to stay calm and avoid jerking the line too hard, which could scare the fish away. Then, slowly start reeling in, adjusting the force to avoid snapping the line. Groupers are incredibly strong, and the feeling of them thrashing around beneath the water is unforgettable. Once the fish tires out, you need to carefully and slowly pull it up, adjusting your technique to safely bring it aboard. The sight of a massive grouper glistening in the sunlight, splashing on the water's surface, is one of the most satisfying moments you'll ever experience. This is the highlight of your fishing journey. Do you know why groupers are called the king of seafood? It's not just because of their delicious taste, but also due to their incredible nutritional value and the massive economic impact they bring. $6 billion USD. That's the revenue the global grouper industry is projected to generate this year, with key markets being Japan, Korea, the US, and European countries. Are you all ready? Now we continue. Let's get into the preparation and enjoyment of an incredibly special long-toothed grouper we just caught. The long-toothed grouper is a rare and tough-to-catch sea fish. Not everyone gets lucky enough to reel one in, since they live deep underwater and are quite difficult to handle when pulled to the surface. That's why catching a long-toothed grouper is always a memorable event. The fish we caught this time wasn't just big, it was super strong too. When we finally hauled it up, I couldn't believe it weighed 19.65 kilograms, almost 20 kilograms. That's way beyond our initial goal of catching something over 10 kilograms. It's also 1 meter long, with thick, oily skin, showing it's been living in deep ocean waters for quite some time. Truly a magnificent fish, and just perfect for making some delicious dishes. Are you excited to see such a massive, strong fish being prepped and cooked? Let's dive right into the filleting process and enjoy this catch together. But wait, there's a little twist here. We won't be jumping right into the filleting. The special thing about this grouper is that it needs to be soaked in ice for about 10 days before we start the preparation. Why, you ask? This method helps the fish retain its freshness, makes the meat firmer, and enhances its flavor when cooked. This step requires careful attention, but trust me, it's super fun if you do it right. Peeling off those thick layers of scales and revealing the smooth fish skin underneath is so rewarding, it's hard to look away. After the gutting process, we'll move on to filleting the fish from the back and chest. These are the most prized parts of the long-toothed grouper. Did you know that this meat is not only delicious, but also incredibly firm and sweet? Working with such top-quality meat is a real treat. When filleting, carefully separate the belly bones to pull out that smooth, white flesh. How does it look to you? Totally mouth-watering, right? Now that we've finished filleting, it's time to move on to the storage process. I'll vacuum seal the fillets and let them sit in ice water for another 10 days. Anyone wondering why? This method helps the fish stay fresh and enhances its flavor. So when you finally cook it, you'll experience the absolute best taste. This is also the final step in our filleting process. After this, we'll have plenty of amazing fish to prepare all sorts of delicious meals. Just imagine some cool sashimi or a delicious grilled fish head at your next dinner. Are you excited? Storing the fish properly will make sure the flavors are next level when you finally cook it. It's definitely worth the wait, right? Now for the moment many of you have been waiting for. Long-toothed grouper sashimi. Are you a fan of sashimi? We're going to cut the fish into thin, delicate slices as white as snow and lay them beautifully on a plate. A small bowl of soy sauce and a bit of wasabi on the side, that's all you need to bring out the fresh flavor of this fish. The grouper meat isn't just naturally white. It also has a light, buttery richness with a mild sweetness. When you dip it lightly into the soy sauce and wasabi and take a bite, the fish melts in your mouth, leaving behind a fresh, rich taste. Isn't it refreshing? Each piece of sashimi carries the pure essence of the sea, making it impossible to resist. Have any of you tried grouper sashimi before? Share your thoughts with me.
芯から入れます。そしたらネギ釣れてました。最初に骨入れなきゃなかった。骨入れてドサッと。よし、この脂の乗ったいい食いっていうのは、この筋みたいに脂の層が入ってるんですよ。この皮と身の間のこの
And finally, we'll enjoy a special dish that I know many of you will love. Grilled grouper head. If you haven't tried this dish yet, get ready to be amazed. The long-toothed grouper's head has rich, fatty meat around the bones. We'll season it simply with some salt, pepper, and lemon, and grill it over hot coals. The aroma is irresistible. You'll want to dig in right away. As it grills, the fish's skin crisps up and the inside becomes soft and buttery. With one bite, the combination of crispy skin and rich, fatty meat will make you say, "Wow!" This dish is a must-have for any grilling party. Just imagine sitting around with family and friends, enjoying a warm grilled fish head. It's the perfect meal, right? I invite you to try this dish with me, and I'm sure you'll be hooked from the first bite. I bet you're craving a taste right now, aren't you? Thanks for watching this fun video with us. See you in the next one.